Hello there. Good to see you here today. Are you interested in channeling spirit? Have you attempted? Are you getting anything? Do you get messages telepathically? Do you channel in trance? Or do you do neither and just want to learn? This is the place for you to be. My name is Jim, and I am not an expert channeler. I do channel spirit telepathically, and I am currently attempting to learn how to do it in trance. I can't say for the rest of you. I like to plan things out. And in planning things out, I like to have a bit of control. And because I acknowledge that, I am looking to trance channel so that I'm kind of out of the way. Now, let's explain channeling a little bit here. Basically, you channel all the time, every single day, whether you know it or not. When your mind is still, have you ever had a flash of insight or an answer to a problem that you've been trying to solve? That is channeling, be it from your higher self or be it from your guides. That is channeling. If you have been sitting in meditation and have a line of communication open between your guides or your higher self and want to improve on that, here is the key: meditation, meditation, meditation. And I have had to find that out the hard way myself. Basically, my mind is like a three-ring circus, and all the monkeys are goddamn loose. And I'll admit it. So for the longest time, I worked at channeling and got nowhere. And then I finally wised up and said, meditate, little fool. And that's what I started to do. And since then, the monkeys have been sitting more or less off to the sidelines. When this works for me, when I am meditating, if I begin to get a lot of intrusive thoughts, there are two things you can do. One is acknowledge it and let it go. The other is to stop the thought and breathe in. I find that when I'm struggling to keep a calm mind going, just take 5 simple breaths and I count. One, you don't have to count aloud. And five. That almost always brings me back to my center and allows me to move forward without all these thoughts running through. You can also count back from 100. There are other methods. You can focus on a candle flame. You can focus on a spot on the wall. And I would suggest taking a little piece of paper with a dot on it, sticking it up on the wall, um, something along those lines. I wouldn't draw on your wall. This helps give you the focus, the breathing, the candle gazing, the spot on your wall. And you want the spot to be a little bit above eye level, straight ahead. There is also chanting. I personally am not a big fan of chanting. Um, I see no harm in it. It's just not my thing. The other thing after learning to bring your mind into a more grounded state so that you're not rehashing the past or making a shopping list or figure out what you're cooking to dinner or are the kids going to drive me crazy during this meditation or your spouse or your significant other, whatever the case may be. As you become more still in yourself, the messages will become clearer. If you're like me, I do have one thing that happens to me on a regular basis. If I meditate for, say, 30, 60 minutes, I go straight from consciousness past the meditation state into sleep. And there is no harm in that either. Um, with practice and with time, you'll learn to catch yourself in that meditative state, relax into it, and enjoy it fully. So, onward. If you're learning to channel, whether you're having success or not, whether you have people to work with, and that is then one of my hurdles to overcome is that I don't really have a lot of people I can practice with. So one of my goals is to open up Zoom meetings where people can practice channeling with each other. And if you want, I can practice with you one-on-one. We can test each other out. If you have no objections to practicing in a group, we can let people give their messages that they're receiving. And this is a good place to where people can listen to what you have to say, acknowledge the message, and offer any suggestions, not criticism, but suggestions on what they see. Such as, you don't seem like you're all quite there connected. That's not a bad thing. And it's something you can acknowledge and work towards. They may also say, I can't hear you because you're talking so low. And that's something else you can work on, projecting your voice so everybody can hear you. If you have pauses in verbalizing a message while channeling, in the beginning, don't worry about it. I do that myself at times. Sometimes it comes in so fast that I have trouble keeping up with it. And sometimes I may not be exactly in the right frame of mind. I may be having a stressful day. I may have a lot on my mind. I just may not feel perky. And when I say perky is I work a lot. I do pretty much 10-hour days. And lots of times I come home from work and I want to get into my meditation and I want to hear what my guides have to say that day. And I'm just too tired. And there's no shame in that. If you have a busy lifestyle, if if you are kept on the run a lot, make the most of your time when you have it. And if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling overwrought, if you're just tired, still take some time to meditate and open yourself up to your spirit guides, your higher self, other higher beings that may wish to communicate with you. Another thing is be positive. If you are always angry, or if you are engaged in behavior that is not uplifting, not only to yourself, but to others, you're going to leave yourself open to lower vibrational messages. I'm not going to say evil entities because That's probably not going to happen. And if you're getting messages that are condemning you, ridiculing you, telling you you're not good enough, bringing up old dirt that you don't want to think about anymore, that is 99.9% your own ego. The ego does not want you to get in touch with higher realms. It wants to keep you down here in the third dimension. It wants to keep you busy. It wants to keep you running. It wants to keep you exhausted. It wants control. A lot of people will tell you, oh, you have to kill the ego. No, your ego is your survival mode. Your ego is what has kept man alive for hundreds of thousands of years. Because the ego can be fear, it can be anger, it can be alert to danger. So the ego is a necessary part of your personality. What you need to do is to make friends with your ego. And how do you do that? You find something that the ego may use to distract you that's in a positive thing that can make you feel good about yourself. Let's say you're a good cook or an artist, or that you're good at writing or uplifting others and you listen well. Use these things, these creative talents, to give yourself a little bit of a boost, to stroke the ego. It's okay. Once you can bring the ego into a relationship of cooperation and friendship, these negative thoughts that you have, this bringing up of the past, is going to just fade away. The other thing that is important, especially with your ego trying to make you feel guilty for things you may have done in the past, bring up awful things people may have said or done to you in the past, is to live in the now. What's done is done and cannot be changed. Living in the now allows you to focus on your current situation at this moment and allows you to go through with the flow more easily. Also, do not worry about the future. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't plan. I mean, all of it's going to retire someday, we hope, and you want to be able to have a nest egg to fall back on. And this being 2024, with a newly elected president that probably has it in his mind to cut or eliminate Social Security altogether. So, planning a little bit for the future is not a bad thing. It's kind of a strategy um, for survival. You may want to think about, oh, the in-laws are coming over for dinner on Saturday. I gotta plan a meal. That's okay. Worrying about what's going to happen in the future. How am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Is defeating. Focus on what's going on right now. What is coming down the road is going to come down the road. And you deal with it when you're in that current now situation. So why am I going off on this tangent? Because it's important to your peace of mind. It's important to your energy that your energy not be vibrating with fear or anger or angst or disappointment. Because the lower you drag your vibration down, the harder it's going to be to connect with beings of a higher vibration. So try to be easy on yourself. Try to be love. Here's a suggestion that I have been following. Meditate, give it 15 minutes. That's all you need. And if you can't give 15, give what you can. Meditate on expanding your vibration of love, start with filling the room you're in with your energy. Expand it to the rest of your house. Expand it to your neighborhood. And expand it to your city or town. You can expand it even to the rest of the United States or the country you're living in, or even the whole world. Yes, you can do that. And let this love flow out of you and reach out to anyone who will accept it. You cannot force love on people who do not want it. It is really against the will of Source to force people to be something they don't want to be. So send your love out, send it out in a healing fashion, let it touch whoever it needs to touch in ways they need to be touched. Be it a little healing touch, being a lifting up of their own emotions, making them feel better in a bad situation. It's all about love. And if you want, you can do what I call heart breathing, which is during your meditation, you visualize source energy coming in through your heart and out through the rest of you to those you're sending love out to. Try doing this for 15 minutes every single day and see the improvement in your own opinion of yourself. It also helps to look in the mirror and say, you are loved. I love you. You're fucking awesome, if that's what you want to say. There's no harm in that. So anyway, back to channeling. I'm going to put a link to my meditation group. I'm going to have to put up a group for channeling as well eventually here. If you want to practice channeling, send me a message. This is going to be on Facebook, or you can send me a message here and I will respond. And we can either set up a group where everybody gets to channel a little bit and people can say what they observe. Again, there is no harm in people observing what you're doing. And they can offer valuable information and insights on how you can improve on your own channeling. I'm also willing to go one-on-one with someone, and I am not an expert. Okay, I am learning myself, but I want to not only raise my own vibration, make a better connection with my guides, spirits of the highest and best, but I want to be a facilitator to helping others achieve that goal as well. And for the record, I am not a guru. I don't want to be a guru. I am just Jim. You are your own guru. You are the one that will teach you the best. By listening to your own intuition, by connecting to your higher self, to your guides, and other spirits that may wander in that are of a higher vibration. Just a quick little thing I'm going to add here at the end. I do have two guides that I work with at this time. The first one started coming through as "We Are Here." And I was kind of working with someone on this, and they put me into a hypnotic state. And we got to there, and they came through, and she asked, "What is your name?" And they said, "We are here." She goes, "Yeah, but what's your name?" And they go, "We are here." That's how they were referring to themselves. That's how they would announce themselves. We are here. They would also hold up for my mind's eye to see a bouquet of black-eyed Susans. And I looked them up for the meaning. I cannot remember it at the time, but it's very nice. They also have come through and said I can refer to them as Clement. And I was like, what is this? Clement. So I Googled it, and it means merciful. kind of nice. The other guide that I work with, although not as much, I'm trying to get down the trance channeling so I can maybe more clearly get his message out. His name is Elwood, and that was a WTF moment. I'm like, oh, what is this? So I looked it up, Googled it, and it means elder tree or elder birch. It is an old English term. Um, so he is a more mature, as far as I can tell, he is a uh, gray hybrid, similar to what Bashar is, if you've ever heard of Bashar on YouTube. Um, and I'm working on that. He's relatively new. Um, and how he came about, I believe, is that I said it would be really nice to make a connection with a extra dimensional and hear about their life and what's it like living in another higher dimension. Um, and after I put that out, was maybe a month later, I began to get some information, and it's very interesting, and it's something I'm going to look into with a lot more detail. Um, there may also be a third one, not sure of this, to be honest with you, whose name may be Clarice. We'll have to wait and see on that. The last thing I want to say is have hope, have a little patience, be willing to do the work. Do not, do not condemn yourself for anything that's happened in the past or you're even struggling with now. If you're struggling with anything now, and I'm just going to bring up a couple of things: overeating, smoking, drinking, weed, and not all these things are bad in themselves. Um, yeah, they are more or less. I tend not to really categorize weed as bad. I personally don't use it myself. I think I'm allergic to it, to be honest. But if you're struggling with things that are going on in your life right now, work on it. Look at the situation from the now perspective. Teach it, seek out your intuition and say, what can I do to make this better? So for all, that's all I have for you. I am grateful if you've watched this video. If you like it, please subscribe. If you're interested in enhancing your channeling skills, please feel free to message me here or in my Facebook link I'm going to put down below. If you are an experienced channeler and want to hear what others have to say that are learning and want to sit in, want to give a message, you are more than welcome. Nobody is going to be turned away unless they become a negative disturbance. So for now, God is blessed, peace be with you, and I hope to hear from you soon.